Okay, so far we've been talking a lot about school and whatnot, but I like to take a step back and just generally get a sense of your history as a whole. Um, so how about we start off with your childhood? I mean, how would you describe your childhood in general?
It was a good childhood. I grew up with one brother, so it was just me and him. He's my older brother. I had a mom and a dad. They are still married. We lived in a little suburb. Went to a little farm school. Enjoyed it. Had a lot of friends. Used to play a lot.
Okay, I remember you mentioning that you got into a good preschool when you were young. So how was that like with this farm town?
Farm school was more of like middle school and high school. My preschool was actually in the suburb I lived in.
Oh.
Okay. It was at a church, but it was known for being really good with dealing with children and learning the artistic ways, being more creative.
Okay.
Like we'd paint and we'd play.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was fun.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about your brother and your parents?
My parents are both really strict, especially when it comes to school. It was A's and B's is the only way, so it's always been embedded in me that I need to do the best that I can. My brother, he's also pretty intelligent. He's in college right now at Case Western, going for engineering.
Cool.
Yeah, school comes easy for him. He doesn't usually have to study. He's the star in my parents' eyes, so it's kind of frustrating at times.
Oh, really? So frustrating. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
I get a little bit jealous because I try so hard to achieve everything I get at school. I mean, I go home and I study and I don't go out like he does, and I spend countless hours practicing what I need to practice, and I still struggle. But he can go out every day and not have to ever study and get straight A's.
So you get the sense that he doesn't have to try.
Right.
Has your brother, or either your parents for that matter, ever struggled with the anxiety or anything like that, similar to what you're feeling? Do you think they have ever been burdened by that?
I wouldn't say my brother has. He's outgoing. He's never had a problem. My mom had a bit of anxiety, but it comes and goes. She's had a couple panic attacks, but it was usually dealing with bills and money and the frustrations of everyday life.
Okay. Has your mother sought treatment of some sort?
She went to her family doctor,
Okay.
and they gave her like anti-anxiety pills, and I don't know what it's called.
Is she getting along pretty well now?
Oh yeah, she's okay now.
Oh, well, that's good.
She seems to be alright. She hasn't had any recent panic attacks. I think the last one was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. Well, I want to backtrack for a second because I remember you told me that your parents were always a little strict about grades and everything. And earlier, we were talking. You were saying that you were a good student. It came easy to you for a while. So, could you tell me a little bit about their parenting as far as getting high grades and how you felt about that?
Alright. During high school was probably the best. Like, I would go and I'd go to my classes and, if you got a C, you come home and you're done. There's no TV, there's no friends, there's no social life or anything. I've missed dances, I've missed football games. I mean, I used to love to cheerlead, but, if I didn't have the grades, they wouldn't let me go. So it's always been the number one priority in my life. I didn't want to upset them. I didn't want to let them down.
I see. So, what are your feelings with how they approach that? I mean, do you feel it was fair that they would keep you home if you got a C?
I'm so-so. I think it's fair because they want me to have a future. They wanted me to have goals. They wanted me to go to college and be successful, but at the same time, they hindered my social life, and I feel like I lost a lot of friends, and I've missed out
So even if it didn't hit you in the best way all the time, it was coming from a good place, and you feel all right about that.
I think they had good intentions.
Okay. So can we talk a little bit more about what what your mood was like before, in general over your life? Because I know right now you're having some problems with anxiety and all of that. But were you pretty stable, through middle school to high school to college?
Oh, I was laid back. I went with the flow. It didn't bother me because, as I said, high school and middle school, it came easy to me. I didn't have to spend hours studying at home. I didn't have to go to the library every day. But now that it's so much harder, I don't know, I feel pressure all the time. I can't think straight.
So when you say that you can't think straight, this is more of like the concentration problems that you have in class and
Yeah, I mean, I just look at the workload I have, and it's just so overwhelming. I don't think I could tackle all of it. And then when I think of everything being so overwhelming, it's like a snowball effect. And then I think about how I'll fail. And then if I think about how I fail, I think about how my parents would be disappointed, how I'm not going to get to a job that I want to do. And then everything just kind of takes over, and I can't think a single thought